Welcome to today's video. Today we are talking about coupons. So, where do you usually shop for things and why? Do you prefer to go to a store or to order online? In my case, I tend to go to a store so that I can see the products. However, there are a couple of things that I prefer to buy online. What about you? Now, do you know what an e-coupon is? Have you ever used one and why? Think about this so we can share in class. If you don't have any experience, maybe you can ask someone who usually shops online. Okay, let's continue. Now, do you know how a coupon works? Well, usually they offer some kind of discount or promotion for when you're getting a service or for when you're buying a product. Now, let's go to student book page 63, exercise 3A. We're going to listen to 4 consumer experts talk about special promotions. Please match the goods and the promotions they talk about.
Page 63. 3. Listening and speaking. Too good to be true? A. Listen to 4 consumer experts talk about special promotions. Draw lines to match the goods with the promotions they talk about. There is one extra promotion. Are you a sucker for a good deal? Are you always looking for one offers? They look good, but are they too good to be true? Today we're asking 4 experts what they think about those too good to be true deals.
Stores have all kinds of promotions, most of which aren't really such a good deal at all. For example, the one that I find annoying is when you buy something in a store, like a printer or a camera or something. It's usually electronics, and they give you lots of receipts to send in for a rebate of, say, $50. But in fact, most people don't send them in, or they send them in too late. So what seems like a good deal at first really isn't if you forget or just can't be bothered to send the receipts in.
Eating out can be expensive, and consumers are always trying to find good deals. So if you look online and see what coupons there are, you'll probably find that there are a number of 2-for-1 specials and so on. So you'd get 2 entrees for the price of 1, which sounds good, but the problem is when people know they're getting a free meal, they tend to think, oh, okay, let's get an appetizer each too, and then maybe dessert and coffee, all of which adds up. So if you're not careful, you end up spending a lot more than if you had just bought an entree each.
When many consumers go shopping for clothes, they see lots of different promotions, some of which are good, but you need to be cautious because a lot of them really aren't. One that I would advise against are the buy one get one half price promotions, because actually what often happens is that you buy something because it's cheap, but it might not be something. I always advise shoppers to buy only what you really like. Ask yourself if you'd buy it at full price. If the answer's no, then don't get it.
These days, at any mall, you'll probably see promotions you want to do. So you sit in one of their chairs and they massage your neck and back for 10 minutes, after which you get up. So what do you do then? Just say thank you and leave? Most of us just can't do that, and you end up tipping them so you don't feel bad. And then the free massage wasn't really free at all.
Okay, so for electronics, we should have letter B, a mail-in bait rebate promotion. For restaurants, buy one, get one free. For clothes, buy one, get one for 50% off. And for the neck massage, try it for free. Did you get it right? Great. Now, I want you to please look at these statements that I took from the previous audio. What do they have in common? Pause the video while you think about this. So, if you notice, they have relative pronouns. Which or whom? Most of which, all of which, some of which, all of whom. Let's talk about them. Now, what do these phrases that have a relative pronoun refer to? Let's do the first one. Stores have all kinds of promotions, most of which aren't really such a good deal at all. What is most of which referring to? The promotions, right? So if you notice, we are using relative clauses with relative pronouns, but we're also adding these quantifiers, most of, all of, some of, etc. Now, let's work on the others. Pause the video while you try to identify what these are referring to. Let's see. They tend to think, oh, okay, let's get an appetizer each, 2, and a dessert and a coffee, all of which adds up. In this case, all of which, we're talking about all of this food. The appetizer, the dessert, and the coffee. They see lots of different promotions, some of which are good, but you need... In this case, we're talking about the promotions, right? In 3 years, the company had more than 85 million customers, all of whom opt in to the site. In this case, we are referring to the 85 million customers. Now, please notice that because we are using these expressions, most of, all of, some of, we are using which for things and whom for people. Now, let's go ahead and continue. Let's go and practice in our student book, page 63, exercise B. We need to complete the relative clauses from another case study. Let's see the first. An entrepreneur needed capital with which he was hoping to start his own business. In this case, which is representing capital. 2. He'd had several ideas. Some had a potential, but they needed a lot of capital up front. In this case, we're referring to ideas. Some of which, of course. Now pause the video and work on the rest. Then let's go ahead and check. Okay, number 3. All of which, because we're talking about the banks. The friends to whom, we're referring to the friends. Number 5, most of whom. Since we're talking about the advisors people, we needed whom, right? And then which, a business for which. Most of which, again we're talking about places, right? Number 7, to which, this offer, right? And the last one, many of whom, we're talking about the customers. Now, let's go ahead and continue practicing. Let's go to workbook page 42, exercise A. We're going to read the article on advertising. Please complete the relative clauses. Let's look at the example. Advertising. Can it become counterproductive? Research shows that the popularity of a product depends greatly on the amount of and extent of advertising. Repeated exposure to ads can produce positive feelings in potential customers, some of whom will become customers of the product. Moreover, successful advertising campaigns, some of which, right, because we're talking about the campaigns, continue for 10 years or more. Now pause the video and work on the rest. We're going to check in class, okay? I will see you then. Bye-bye!